Are there a lot of students in your class, in your school that are taking advantage of the early college program?
In Millsop High School, I believe there are like probably around 5 of us that are doing early college.
How about in your classes at CCV? Do you have any sense of like, are your fellow students, are a lot of them early college students or hard to know?
Yeah, it'll depend on the class. Usually a lot of the gen ed classes will have a lot of early college students in them. My English composition class last semester had a majority of early college students, and then the more specific courses will have more of like an age range. Like I took a course last semester of human services, and there was definitely a lot of different people who had children, people who were just out of high school, people all over.
Rob?
Yeah, now is this going to be a springboard into a new college next fall, or are you going to stay put and finish out at CCV?
I'm going to be going to a new college, a 4-year college in the fall. Yes.
Okay. And will all of your credits go with you, or most of them?
Most of them, I believe so. I tried to take mostly gen ed classes
Yep.
so that they could transfer
Yep.
over, so,
Does chemistry fall sort of within that gen ed category?
yes.
You got any questions?
I don't. I think I know the story pretty well.
Great. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, well, we can switch and get a couple of, well, I'm sorry, you were sitting right at 30 and could.
Yes.
Yeah, but I assumed you were not an early college student.
Not an early college student, that is correct.
Yeah, where are you a student?
So I'm a student at Randolph, BTSU.
Yeah.
So that was formerly VTech, and so I'm an electrical engineering student there. At the end of this year, I'll have my 2-year degree, and then I'm continuing to attend for my 4-year degree. And I'm doing a change of career,
Yeah.
computer student.
So didn't do early college, you just
I
went
actually
to,
did.
you
Oh, you
did.
did?
I did it in a completely different state, in Washington State, and I loved it, yeah. So,
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was for something different, that was a lifetime ago, so.
So from a student, we hear a lot about how things are going or not going with our state university. At the high level, how are things going from the student level?
Very well on the student level. There's a lot of really hardworking staff on Randolph. We are lacking in teachers in the electrical department, or we will be soon. There's a couple that are headed for retirement, sadly, and they're still great. They're just, they want to have their, nice sunset years or whatever. So, that is something that, everyone in my department can see, being a problem in the coming year. Other than that, very happy about the green buildings being redone and, just want to thank everybody in this committee for the funding that you're providing. There's
No, you keep talking.
there are
This is just for-
a ton of nursing students and vet tech students right now that are, going full bore. I see them in the library all the time studying their butts off, so hopefully we can fill in some of the positions across the state. Same with, we've got construction tech. That's a very good program, construction and auto. And then I'm in the electrical engineering department. There's also a bunch of manufacturing engineering and mechanical engineering. And those departments are all bringing in a lot of new students. And I think, that's very good for the state considering that we need more skilled labor.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Okay,
So that's where my question is gonna go. Is it your intention to stay here? Are they helping you
Yes.
find internships or employment or anything for when you finish up?
Yes.
Because you said you're finishing up in May, like
Yeah.
you're done.
No.
Oh, you have
my
another year.
2-year in
Okay.
May, and then I'm going on to get my 4-year. So
There at the
Actually,
same school,
at the
you
same
can,
school,
okay.
yeah. So I do have an internship. I had an internship last summer. I'm returning this summer as a full-time employee. And I'll be going to school and working for them moving forward. And that's at Nolado, the medical device manufacturer. The school is very good about job placement. Most everybody I see who's a junior or senior has been either already placed in an internship or is about to be, so,
That's great news, because we really want you to stay.
yes,
did you say this was a career change for you?
yes.
Yeah, what were you doing previously?
So I used to own a small business. I owned a business making ice and delivering it to bars and restaurants in Chicago. I was said a long time ago.
So you're that guy.
And so my business went under in 2020. I have people out here, so I moved out here and decided I love manufacturing. I always loved manufacturing, so I wanted to go into electrical engineering.
John, what I'm hearing you say is, I came to Vermont. I'm now studying in Vermont. I can't wait to apply all of my skills once I graduate in the state of Vermont.
Absolutely. I like it here. It's
Good
great.
job.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
It's a good start.
Maybe just a couple others, want to just
Switch them out.
tell us a little bit about your experiences at the state university. You guys want to jump up there? That'd be great.
Try not to hit the camera.
No, just go for it.
Yeah.
No, go over.
She'll make sure you don't get whacked.
So just tell us who you,
Half down.
Go ahead.
just tell us, just find another chair.
Another
Yeah.
chair.
Yeah.
Chairs over there.
Go between us, I like to hear, please.
Nice.
Lined up in my left ear, so.
Are you guys, so tell us, one who would like, tell us who you are and where you go to school.
Yeah, so I'll start. My name is Thomas Theo. I go to Vermont State University, Castleton. I'm from Manchester, Vermont, and born and raised here.
Yeah, hey, what's up? My name is Carsten Sava. I work in South Burlington and I go to VTSU Linden and also natural born Vermonter.
No, my name is Luke Walters. I grew up in Richmond. I go to Johnson campus. I'm a triple major in math, science, and secondary education. Trying to get a dual licensure. Yeah.
It's great. So, you know, the State University's gone through huge transformations over the past many years. And I guess my question is, since you're at different campuses, do you feel as if you are like only a student at Johnson or Linden or Castleton, or do you feel like you're part of a bigger system, and kind of how does that work?
I can start, yeah. So I feel like we've really been on and up with Vermont State University. We went through our time with the merger, which was a rough start, but now with the new president, President Byrd, things have been really smooth sailing. And I think we've bound to create a more inclusive environment with one another. Like, at least I'm the student government president at Castleton. Luke is the student government president at Johnson, and we work very cohesively, and that led to a lot of student collaboration across campuses, but also there's been a lot of effort to make cross campuses work with classes as well through virtual modalities and also through maybe some future transportation support.
How is that sort of cross-campus virtual modality working out? Yeah, go ahead.
So I can speak to this. So crazy enough, my schedule really only worked if I took calculus online, which is hybrid with in-person Castleton group. And then I'm taking 2 courses in Winooski and I'm taking 2 ed courses online. So my schedule is pretty crazy and hectic. At Castleton, class goes from 11 to 11:50, and then in Winooski, I have class 11:45 to 2:30. So I miss the first 5 to 8 minutes of every single CCB class because I'm in Calif.
And you're attending Winooski virtually.
No, I'm attending Castleton
Virtually.
Yep, Winooski is in person. But I will say from the VTSU perspective, we're all on one schedule now. So the only reason why I'm having that problem is because I'm VTSU and CCB currently. So VTSU classes, there will never be any overlap unless you're taking a class at the same time as another class, which wouldn't happen.
Oh, you got that. So you're in person, you're virtual. I guess was the only, but you're not, and you are traveling a bit.
Yes, I have to leave 9:30 every day to get to Winooski before calc starts, and then after calc, I go right to my class.
Yeah. What's your experience?
My experience, going into fall of 2021, I specifically went into inclusive childhood education because I want to be a teacher. And then, I would say in the in the spring of 2024, due to personal reasons, I switched my major into interdisciplinary studies, where I get to create my own specific degree. And the 3 majors that I decided to combine are education, psychology, and art.
Excellent.
And I've been doing that since. And a little bit of the virtual, I've been doing with that a lot, especially last semester where I had all of my classes fully online, and that was definitely something that was like really interesting as like a very like social person that I am on my campus. I was still able to figure things out while I was able to do that by talking to my professors, as well as being able to do a lot of different kinds of clubs on my campus to keep myself active. And so I can force myself and say hi to people and do what I can.
So you were living on campus, but taking all of your classes virtually.
Yes.
Sounds like the COVID days.
Oh, yes. Cool.
Yeah, that's kind of how the education program works,
Yeah.
especially in Vermont, because you're student teaching in person. So a lot of the education courses end up being online and later in the day. I know somebody who is graduating with their teacher degree, and every Wednesday from 5 to 8, they have a virtual class because that allows teachers to go teach throughout the day, and then at night, as she has people from all 5 campuses in that class. So it's super cool to see that.
And I'm not up with the technology. Is it basically just of Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are
Yes.
some classes that are also taught asynchronously, where a
Right.
professor will be grading the assignments, giving the assignments, will be able to be communicated by the professor. Like I'm taking MBA courses while I'm doing my undergrad, and those are all asynchronous.
Just curious, like how many of your fellow classmates do you find are doing similar things, you know, dipping into other campuses, catalogs and doing that? Is it kind of a big deal? 'Cause-
I would say every student I've talked to at least has had one experience.
okay,
If anything, I think it's probably like one student has taken at least one Zoom class with another campus. I know a lot of my friends have personally taken multiple. So yes, I would say it's very
Okay.
common.
A couple of presidents ago, there was a proposal that every student at the state university get a credential of value. I don't know if that proposal sort of went away when that president went away, but it just seemed like an intriguing requirement to have. I'm seeing, doesn't sound like that's currently.
No,
I mean, well, Matt kind of talked about this, so when he talked about compensation for SGA,
well, no, that's,
but I guess.
No, this would be like, you know, getting a degree in, you know, could be speed, auto tune-ups or something. It could be just a, what they call a credential of value, not necessarily a degree or something.
I know there's been a big push for certificates and
Yeah,
other methods
that's
like that. And a lot of students have voiced their support of that. And a lot of students do want to see some more options given to non-traditional students, because
Yeah.
that's what
sure.
one of the
Yeah.
big missions of BTSU is to offer affordable education for those who may be entering college later than those who are entering currently.
Yeah.
Like I came in fresh out of college, we have a lot of early college, a lot of non-traditional students, a lot of first gen and low income. I think we
Yeah.
make up our 50% first gen and over 50% low income.
All right, Kate, last question.
Sure.
2 questions, really. Did any of you participate in early college? It sounded like you didn't. And the second question is, are you gonna stay in Vermont?
Oh, pressure there.
I know.
I definitely plan on staying in Vermont because, I definitely want to do what I can as a citizen of Vermont and just realizing how much students and children are going through in Vermont and through my experiences with, past jobs and just having so many conversations with different kinds of people all around, whether it's Burlington, whether it's Montpelier, or in the Northeast Kingdom. My heart has been touched enough to know that I definitely do want to stay here and make an impact here.
I would say Vermont, I feel like I belong. So my freshman year, they announced that they might be closing the library and getting rid of NCAA sports. My entire team basically went into the transfer portal, transferred away. I also did that, went to a different state, different college. It was D1. I had, you know, a full ride scholarship. Hated it there, so I came back. I plan to stay. I might dip out for a little bit and do teaching it through the Peace Corps. So I'm looking at opportunity in Ghana or Argentina. And I might be looking into a conference that happens in Philly for teachers, where you bring your teaching license from any state and they hook you up to teach abroad, where they'll pay for your housing, your food, your transportation. And then you do, after your time is up, you come back. So
Some adventure first.
yeah, some adventure first, but Vermont is definitely my home to be. Lucky here.
And right now I'm currently pursuing graduate assistantships for my master's degree. Currently, I'm already pursuing, I already have over 9 credits in my MBA course. I've been offered graduate assistantships and I've applied to some higher ed positions across Vermont, whether it be Middlebury, UVM. So right now the plan is to stay in Vermont. I also plan to really get a master's degree and hopefully a PhD and end up in a higher education institution.
All right, just for time, we'll stop here, but everybody